Hey, Warpugs. So, you might be wondering why the purple lighting. Well, we're dealing with a particular issue today about, gene stealers. Those that are here to steal your genes. Warrior Tier wanted me to check out their video on gene stealer cults. And it's a story. So, hi, Mama Warrior Tier. Hi, Papa Warrior Tier. Hey, all the good people at Warrior Tier. Let's get into it. We're gonna have some fun. Now we already know this is gonna be good. Guys, this shirt looks great. It feels great. Down in the description below, you're going to be finding the merch store for Warrior Tier. They just came out with it a couple of weeks ago. Go get yourself some drip. I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyhow, here we go.
This is my last will and testament. My name is Simon Baring, Class 2 Goods Fabrication Specialist. They know why I'm here.
Yay.
I hear them clicking and screaming to each other. They won't get in.
Yeah, they will.
They took this world in blood and darkness. No surprise. I only realized what was happening when it was far too late. I saw horrible things.
No doubt.
I was brought on world by special request of the cult Mechanicus leader named Mago Smythe. He had need for my knowledge and skills. I don't think Mago Smythe was involved in what happened here, but I can't be sure. My family and I had lived on Medusa 2C.
Oh!
Well, and happily, on a wage I made from my work. And I was born there. I always imagined I would die there, beneath that violet star. But fate had another idea for me. I moved here to Unisgard with my wife, Nicolia, and our daughter, Katrin, 3 standard years ago. Things started 2 months ago. We were accoladed on the top floor of Hab Zone T66. I've never seen anything like it. Real organic furnitures, free food, clean water.
Okay, he was living the dream in the Imperium as far as I'm concerned.
That was what made us stay.
Oh, yeah.
And you're wondering why I'm giving so much detail. It's to prove to you that I am who I claim to be. Katie's Scolm wasn't some Ministorum-built spire with 600 children inside being whipped with tasers.
Which happens more often than not.
Classes were all small. The teachers knowledgeable, fair, and above all, warm. A few months ago, Katie asked if she can invite her friend over. A boy named Malik. I said yes. I wish we had not done so and will forever rue that day. The 2 returned home after their lessons. I thought nothing of it. Why would I? They were just 2 children being children. Until I realized that Malik never laughed. He never squealed or shouted. He never made any noise you would expect from a child.
Oh, look, this is not right. My weakness is creepy kids, okay? I have a defined weakness towards creepy children.
The worst of all were his eyes.
Great.
Children have a spark in their eyes that doesn't go out until they've been grounded down. He had the cold eyes of an animal.
Lovely.
I spent the next 5 days essing quietly and carefully around my manufactorum, seeing if anyone else had noticed it. They did. Iron Brock. He told me how he had been here for 6 years and he had noticed it becoming more common.
Huh.
My work with fusion and fission kept me busy 14 hours a day. What time did I have to spend at home?
Well, at least his work schedule's typical of a traditional Imperium lifestyle.
So I never got to see the flocks of blank-eyed children wandering the city. I never saw the pregnant women who only bore their children for 4 months.
Wait, what? Nah?
But I did hear it. The screech. I was 4 layers into a thermonuclear reactor, clad in layers of shielded armor, when the sound exploded in my head.
This is always a good sign. This is always a good
It took
sign.
me 25 minutes to get out of the core and 25 more to strip the high-hat suit off and scramble out. The factory was a butcher's yarn.
Lovely.
Dead bodies everywhere. Either flayed, consumed, and both. The avenues were choked with the bodies of men and women who just wanted to work, who just wanted to give their families a better life. I saw Hiram Brock laying in a circle of 20 corpses. A bent rebar still gripped his hand. I remember I tried to save him. May he rest in the light of the Emperor.
Yep.
After an hour, I made it outside to see the hab towers that reached the skies being pulled down. I stood, blinking in stunned horror as 50-story buildings crumbled and collapsed into plumes of dust. They were pulled down by bellowing mountains of claws. Chitin claws, teeth, eyes, so many eyes. Most of the people on world were caught unprepared. I saw the Planetary Defense Force overwhelmed and ripped apart like they were nothing.
This story, while horrifying, is what you'd expect to see out of a GENESTEALER infestation. Sometimes it's insidious, sometimes the populace knows something, but they can't really put their finger on it. But when they strike hard, and their whole mission is to destabilize in lieu of a Hive Fleet's arrival, or to take over the planet themselves.
But I honor them, those brave soldiers trying. I saw a mechanized division of the Imperial Guard who had stopped on world for supplies ripped apart. Their armored vehicles poured rounds into the waves of ravening animals. To no avail. I watched as 6 identical beasties, twice the height of a man, pull a tank apart.
Yep.
He must have been a commander, ordered his damn crew to fire one last time. I've never seen a tank fire like a cannon before. Everyone in any position of power disappeared instantly or was dragged screaming into the streets. I watched from the back of a hauler cab as General Prague of the PDF was pulled from his offices. The beast hadn't thought to check for his weapon. From the Lord Magistratum to the personal aid of the onboard Mechanicus delegation, everyone except the Chief Ministorum was devoured.
Oh, great.
He wasn't consumed because he was one of them.
Go figure.
I saw through a cloud of smoke. Standing before a statue, a stone, a monument maybe. He was holding his arms. All 3 of them to the skies. And I heard the million beings around him chanting. I'll never forget that monument, carved with images from hell's own heart. Enthroned, the way the crowd swayed and rotated, worshipping the 3 figures standing around it.
This is really what you'd expect to see. The GENESTEALERs hold the Tyranids, and so they form a religion around them. This is why GENESTEALER infestation is so dangerous, because it can go undetected for centuries, millennia even, until just by some by some sort of chemical or basically when they reach certain thresholds of the population, they're just activated like sleeper agents, like mass sleeper agents, and then they do stuff like this.
That was when the Prague exploded. He must have hidden 15 pounds of high-X charges in his jacket. An honorable death.
There you go.
I scrambled my way home. The 35-minute journey took 4 hours.
Huh.
I saw the creatures as tall as tanks rip people from beneath automotives and carry them screaming into the dark.
To the patriarchs.
I saw tentacle-faced, almost invisible things stalk around rooftops before plunging into stores and leaving a few moments later, caked in gore. Most of all were the children. They swarmed in packs of 40, pulling down the last tenacious pockets of resistance.
That is just a creepy picture.
They knew their enemies couldn't bring themselves to shoot children. They used that knowledge. Natalia, Katya, and I managed to hide in the back of our high block. My work allowed me a mid-level apartment. It was well appointed, within an arm's reach of doors that were easy to hack open. Thankfully, due to my training and natural aptitude, I managed to reroute enough power to send some messages. In all honesty, I sent two. One to any Imperial forces listening, and the other to Medusa 2C. To my father, requesting he tell the authorities there what I had seen. My wife and I spent 4 weeks stealing food from the empty hab units around us. Enough to keep us going. We took pics of everything we could, from the footprints with their 4 toes heavy and clawed, to pics of that huge monument that stood in the city center. And that was covered in bones of the citizens of this world. I crept from hab unit to hab unit, capturing images from my neighbors' window panels. Thankfully, our neighbors stockpiled everything they could. They never returned. I prayed for them every night. I hope they know they allowed my daughter to survive. I hope they found the peace I found when I saw her dark brown eyes. I hope they never know the pain I felt when I had to force myself to let go of her hand, knowing it was the final time I would see those eyes. I managed to get my family off-world through negotiations with a member of the Inquisition.
Dude.
Her name was... She offered me a trade. The price for my family's safety was this.
I like that.
Stay in the world and do what I'm about to do. I must do it. Because no one else can. What a stupid thing. But I do it with pride. With a smile on my face.
Good.
I do it so my daughter Catherine will see another solar eclipse. Another dawn. I do it so she can live and run free across worlds beyond my imagining. I do it so Natalia may again be adored as I adore her. Her light is too pure to be kept by a dead man. In the small moments I have left of life, I will never forget them leaving me for the last time. The Inquisitor's ship made planetfall in the dead of night. The sleek black hole was a shadow. I couldn't explain to them that I had to stay here. I told her I would see her soon as the...
He's gonna exterminate the planet.
Black armored soldiers lifted her aboard. I still see her face as the ramp shut. Her face haunted and fearful. Broken by having to leave here. Those words on her lips, mouthing them to me as she said goodbye.
Alert! Alert! Plasma filtration failure is 100.
He's exterminating the planet.
This is my last will and testament because I was told I had to blow the main plasma generator.
He's killing the planet.
There's something hidden here that those animals outside aren't allowed to get. Something worth destroying, worth denying to the enemy. It's my job to make sure that...
Alert! Gyro stabilization failure imminent. Seek off-road transportation immediately.
I dreamed I would die in Medusa. An old man surrounded by family. But I'll die here. Bathed in the blue light of plasmic vision. With Katya and Nick in my mind.
Plasma breach imminent. Transferring logs to nearest Mechanicus vessel.
Our twin Aquila in my hand. A fair trade. Your father dies, so a young girl lives. Forgive me, Nick. Forgive me.
The last will and testament of a father, doing what most any father would do in this situation, where it's a choice between doing something to where your family will live on or not doing anything at all. Unreal. Guys, I have said it before, I'll say it again. Warrior Tier puts out some of the best 40K content that I have seen in a good long while. I love the storytelling aspect of it. The audio visuals are incredible. The fact they put creepy kids in there as the catalyst for all this, that is just not right, though. I can't forget, because creepy kids, no. It all stems back from the Grudge and that little kid. First line in the movie, "Do you know when I'm going to die?" And I'm just like, get this thing out of my face. Get this kid out of my face. He's 8. Go play with a ball. What's wrong with you? Kids dressing up like Uncle Fester's second cousin. What's going on here? Of course it's going to be creepy kids. Of course they're going to use weaponized children. Guys, this is exactly how you would expect a Tyranid Genestealer cult to both form and execute its plans. Genestealer cults are essentially, it's not altogether true to call them scouts. It's not altogether true to call them anything other than sleeping infiltrators. A single Genestealer, a single person infected with a Genestealer, will go to a planet and not even know they are infected. And they will meet somebody and start a family and spread that along. And before you know it, there's entire factions. There's entire segments of the population that are infected with Genestealers. Then you start seeing the more advanced forms of Genestealers, like the Patriarchs, show up, and they can infect other people with Genestealers, and they just drag them down beneath the surface, or somehow get them separated from other people. The Patriarch comes out, infects them, and then they go out in the population and create more Genestealers. And what you wind up having happen is gradually the Genestealers reach a certain point of the population. Now, at that point, certain things will happen. One, either the Genestealers are going to send out a signal looking for a hive fleet. They're going to do it. They're not even going to do it intentionally. They're going to do it as part of their nature. They're going to start worshiping the Tyranids as deities as part of their nature. They're going to start sending out signals so that the hive fleet will recognize as part of their nature. They're going to start forming cabals and sects and other organizations to destabilize the planet as part of their nature. And they're going to do it so that when the Tyranid actual hive fleet arrives, it has the easiest time possible, that it can, taking on the planet. Genestealers will, when the Tyranid hive fleet gets closer, begin to manifest more and more signs, overt signs, that they are indeed infected. But most people in the early stages of a Genestealer infestation don't even know that they're infected. They have no idea. None at all. They're just going throughout their lives. It's only when you have the later stages of a Genestealer infestation where it really becomes apparent that something is wrong with large segments of the population. Like with the kids. Genestealer, they had the teachers in there teaching the children. Bet you $10 diamonds to donuts there was Genestealers there that were taking the kids and infecting them with the Genestealer. Essentially, it's a parasite. It's a virus. It's disgusting. But they were infecting the children en masse at these schools, and that's all that they needed to do. And when nobody figured out what was happening quick enough, this is what happens. You have a Genestealer uprising which can either do one of two things: take the planet outright for the Genestealers, or it can completely destabilize the planet enough to where when a Tyranid Hive fleet arrives, it will have no issue overrunning the planet in total. In any case, guys, Warrior Tier, what can I say? Every single time I check something out by them, I'm always impressed. I was not expecting this to be as somber as it was. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting maybe a story from the eyes of a Genestealer himself, because I'd like to know what their take was on this. But at the same time, I'm not disappointed at all. This is what you'd expect. Guys, you guys have been requesting a lot of Warrior Tier, and I already know that there is a request for Rogel Dorn, and that I'm going to be checking out soon. That has a special guest in it with Vox in the Void, and we all know how much I enjoy Vox in the Void. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Warrior Tier yet, I highly recommend you do so. Links are going to be in the description down below. Get yourself some drip. Thanks again to Warrior Tier for sending me this. I said I'm going to wear it every single time that I check something from them out. Aside from all that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Warpugs, point out any 3-armed people that you see to your local Arbites. I'm just saying.